would like to say that skincare is something, which is necessary for everyone, whether it is male or whether it is female.
Any malfunction or illness of the body is reflected by the change in the skin or color, texture, or appearance.
Hello, everyone. What's up? Welcome back to the show Voice of Nature. We have got two guests with us, Gunjita Ganjolia and Arpana from Nepal and Gunjita from Kota, Rajasthan. They both are my classmates and welcome you guys. So today's
Thank you,
topic
Thank you.
Sandeep.
so today's topic is skincare routine. Importance of skincare routine in male and female, like female and male as well, because sometimes male don't take care of their skin. Yesterday I talked with some of my friends on Instagram. They have sent me some messages regarding skincare routine. We will be talking about skincare routine along with them. So let's get started. So first, what is skincare routine according to you both guys? Let's start with Gunjita first.
Okay, so skincare routine. I think that having a flawless or a beautiful skin, it is not simply a matter of DNA, but in fact our daily habits, then our sleeping patterns, our health conditions, and our lifestyle. They have a great impact of what one sees in the mirror. So before knowing about the skincare routine, let's talk about the types of skin. So basically, there are five types of skin. That is the normal skin, which have a normal sebum production, and the skin is clear and clean. Then the second one is the oily skin, which has excess of sebum production. Then the third one is the dry skin. The dry skin has rough texture and a tight skin. The fourth one is a combination of dry and the oily skin, in where the T zone is having the excess oil, and the other area, that is the cheek, it is dry. And the last one is the sensitive skin. So sensitive skin is so called because when it is exposed to air pollutants or cosmetics, it gradually becomes there will be redness and there will be tanning on the skin. So these are the types of the skin. Now coming to the skincare. So skincare is something personal, and there are numerous methods to take care of our skin. I'll be discussing about the basic skincare routine. That is the CTM regimen. So CTM includes the cleansing, the toning, and the moisturizing. So before choosing any of the products, you should know the labels of the products. For example, if you prefer to go for a cleanser, now you should know that for oily skin, we go for the salicylic acid and glycolic acid based products. Then for the dry skin, we prefer glycerin and hyaluronic acid based products. And for the sensitive skin, we go for lactic acid based products. This is the first part of the CTM regimen. Now coming to the second part, that is the toning. So the purpose of the toner is to balance the pH of the skin, and make sure whenever you get a toner, it is a non-alcoholic base which has least side effects. Then some people even prefer that antioxidant serum rather than the toner, because it reduces your inflammatory responses. Now if you wish to skip the facial toner, make sure you have an effective pH balanced cleanser. So toning, it's not important or necessary for everyone. Therefore, make sure you invest in great facial cleansers and right serums, which not only regulates your skin pH, but it also cleanses and exfoliates your skin without drying it too much. And lastly is the moisturizer. So moisturizing is something you are very well aware of, and it not only nourishes your skins, but it also locks the hydration. And after applying the moisturizer, make sure you apply a SPF, that is minimum SPF 30, to make sure the harmful radiations of the UV don't enter your skin and cause the harmful effects.
Yes, Arpana.
As Gunjita said, I think we can make our own skincare routine on the basis of our preference, on the basis of our feasibility and our skin type. So I just like to add few things, like whenever you go for cleansing your face, you should clean it at least twice a day. And while washing, we should avoid strong soaps, face wash that makes skin dry. Like it's better to use mild cleanser. And every time you wash your face, pat it with a towel so that some moisture remains. Because if skin is completely dried, it can lead to overproduction of sebum or oil, and this can lead to skin problem. So along with CTM, we can also apply various herbal face packs, once in a week at least, because it stimulates the blood circulation, rejuvenates skin, and gives soothing effect. So we can use multani mitti, turmeric face pack, according to our
Yeah.
feasibility. And
Yeah.
with this face pack, we can also add few things according to our skin type, increase the effect. Like for dry skin, you can add or you can use olive oil, coconut oil, almond oil, or honey or aloe vera. And for oily skin, you can use diluted lemon juice or cucumbers, sandalwood, all these. And especially for sensitive skin, it is always advised to taste little amount of the application in your skin of hand before applying. So I think to sum up, I think these all methods can be used to take care of our skin and to prevent further skin problems.
100% sure. It's very nice. But it's a textbook answer. I want your own personal skincare routine. What do you use on daily basis? What's your favorite? What's your favorite herbal things that you use on daily basis? Gunjita.
Okay, like coming to daily basis, then as my skin is oily, so I prefer going with a mind cleanser, which has a base of salicylic acid as well as the olive oil. So I usually prefer that cleanser, and I make sure that I wash my face morning as well as at the night, and then going with the toner. Toner I prefer is rose water. I usually go with the rose water toner, and then I end up by moisturizing with any gel like aloe vera gel for soothing my skin, as we're not even going outside nowadays, so it's like the basic one, very basic.
Yeah, Arpana.
Yeah, I think my skincare routine is similar to Gunjita said. I prefer to use this gram flour powder and turmeric, grinded thing. I just keep it next to my basin or something, and every time I need to wash it, I just apply few. I just apply
Yeah.
that on the face to clean it. And
Yeah.
of course, use aloe vera gel for moisturizing and rose water for toning, all that. And sometimes use face wash. And this is my skincare routine, I think.
Uh, let me share you my skincare routine. I do not wash with soap. I don't use any other products. Only during taking bath, I use a soap. That's all. It's so common in males. If it's me, what you'll suggest me that now you know what I do. Now what you'll suggest me to do now?
Okay, I would like to say that skincare is something, which is necessary for everyone, whether it is male or whether it is female. So you should definitely take care of your skincare routine, as in like the way you told that you don't take care, but you should include the non-necessary habits like at least washing your face twice or whenever you go out of your home, to make sure it is clean, there are no dirt, because this is only the phase when you can take care of your skin properly. Like when we age, naturally all the things are going to happen which are accordingly to the age going to happen. So make sure that you definitely use a mild face wash. Then even if you want to skip the toner, get a good moisturizer which balances your pH of the skin.
Sure. So coming back to some of the points that we are going to discuss. First point is going to be about teenagers. They face a lot of like acne. They have to go in like everywhere in suns and all for their classes. And teenage life is like outside the home eating junk food. What you can suggest them as teenagers, because they have like a lot of hormonal changes at the time of their teenage. Like there are a lot of things coming up into your body that they don't know. So what skincare routine you will suggest for them?
So as you said, teenagers, they face a lot of problems, especially of acne because of hormonal issues and all that. It is very common. Acne is actually very common. More than 90% of world's population at least get affected by acne at least at some point of their life.
Yes.
Before knowing how to treat acne, let me just briefly tell what actually causes acne. So acne is basically caused when the hair follicles are clogged with oil, dead skins, and bacteria. And when skin is clogged with excess oil production or all that favors the growth of bacteria, and this causes inflammation, and this leads to acne. So if we can figure out why is there excessive sebum production or why is there excessive growth of bacteria, then we can definitely remove we can definitely solve the issue.
Yes.
So we need to go deep into the root cause of it. If we have acne, then we can do all this checklist. We can check and figure out where we are going wrong. Those deep root cause includes like irregular sleep patterns, irregular bowel movements like constipation, high fat diet like fried foods, oily food, and diet with high glycemic index like junk food or refined sugars, habit of smoking or taking alcohol, or taking stress, anxiety, use of cosmetic products, certain medications. So all of this actually leads to accumulation of toxins in the body as well as in the skin. So this causes hormonal imbalances, and this increases the activity of oil sebaceous gland and leads to acne. In fact, there is a traditional technique called face mapping in ancient science, ancient Chinese and Ayurvedic medicine, which says that any malfunction or illness of the body is reflected by the change in the skin or color, texture, or appearance. Like skin problems, for example, like if it is in the forehead, then it reflects, like a problem in the bladder, intestine, or any problem in the digestion, like constipation, all that. And acne or oiliness in the nose or cheek area, it indicates poor circulation, increased cholesterol, excess exposure to pollution. And in the mouth area, if there is some problem, then it indicates hormonal imbalances, stress, increased stress. But having said this, one must understand that internal condition may not always be reflected, but we can definitely diagnose it by knowing out and figuring out the complete case history. So in short, we can say that presence of acne is not just the problem of the face, but also a signal of the body to warn the internal condition. So to treat these causes, I think we need to avoid spicy and fried food, eat healthy fruits and vegetables that is rich in antioxidants and fiber in the form of anything like detox juice you can make, salad you can make, anything you need to eat. And then reduce stress by practicing yoga, meditation, and take enough rest, relaxation. Regularize your sleep pattern. Make sure you sleep properly, 6 to 7 hours. Drink plenty of water. Keep yourself hydrated. Regularize your bowel and detoxification of the body, like by steam therapy, dietary modification, fasting, exercise. All these can do wonders. It just does not make your skin healthy and glowing, but also make you and your entire body healthy. So I think we can try all these methods along with the skincare methods to permanently solve problem of acne and to prevent reoccurrence.
100% right. Yeah, Gunjita, do you want to add some points?
Yeah, I would like to add. Like Arpana, as you said, internal approach is also important. So I feel that skin requires both internal as well as external approaches. Now, you might have heard of this saying that you are what you eat. So, there is a beautiful term in science which is called the gut-skin axis. And the health of the gut, it depends on what you eat and it's reflected on your skin. So the gut here, it is the gastrointestinal tract, or it is also called your second brain. And there is a symbiotic relationship between the humans and the bacteria which is present in your gut. Now, when I talk about bacteria are here not only the bad bacteria, but even the good bacteria, which enhances our immune function and our overall health. So, but the microbiome of a gut, it is altered by our wrong eating habits, then sedentary lifestyle, stress, and then improper sleeping patterns, antibiotics, and anxiety. So, to balance all these, you must include the right amount of probiotics as well as the prebiotics. Now, prebiotics includes like, garlic, then onion, then banana, and nuts like cashews, pista. And probiotics includes curd, buttermilk, all the fermented foods, kombucha, pickle, kimchi, all these things. So you should have a balance, or a symbiotic relationship between the bacteria in your gut. And studies have also shown that it not only reduces the inflammation but it also enhances immunity. So we should make sure that we switch to more of a healthy diet, consume a diet which is rich in high fiber, omega-3 fatty acid, anti-inflammatory diet, and go for naturopathic treatments like enema for cleansing of the bowel and for reducing stress, as like Artna already told, practicing meditation, yoga, then avoiding smoking, because smoking it degrades your collagen, which ultimately leads to wrinkles and blemishes on the skin. So yeah, avoid smoking, then stay hydrated, make sure you avoid dehydration.
Completely true. So I saw one speech of Dr. B.M. Hegde where he was doing a research on Ayurvedic products and these chemicals which we like eat drugs and all, which like modern medicine drugs. So in his speech he told that modern medicine drugs affect adversely on our body, but similar at the same time they saw that Ayurvedic products, like Ayurvedic medicines in short, they act wonderful on the body. So is there something where chemical cosmetics affect adversely on our skin and herbal products act good on skin? Is there anything like that? What's your take, Gunjita?
See, cosmetics are something which are supposed to help one look beautiful. But nowadays, if you see, the cosmetics are loaded with the chemical synthetics, which not only harm the skin, but they're also carcinogenic. So I say that then also the products are loaded with sulfates, leads, and that studies have also revealed that our skin absorbs 60% of the chemicals in the product it comes with. So I must say that when it comes to beauty products, the less is better. And you can go for organic, as Sandesh told, you can go for organic and herbal products, which are like paraben free, sulfate free, and phthalate free, or the lead free, because these products have least side effects. And nowadays, even people, usually prefer what's more of natural because it is beneficial for your skin as well as your body. So herbal products like rose petals, sandalwood, aloe vera gel, these are the best options because they will not damage your skin and they will have a long lasting effect on your body as well as your skin. So to mention a few, like you can go for, mixture of powdered gram flour and turmeric as face wash, then multani mitti face pack. You can also go for, aloe vera gel for moisturizing your skin and rose water as a toner. So all these natural remedies will have a long lasting effect and they won't harm your skin much.
I think I totally agree with that. And I think, whether using chemical cosmetics or using a natural skin, a resin, whatever, I think it's all about our personal preference. There are natural remedies, as you mentioned, like multani mitti, turmeric, sandalwood, neem, aloe vera, all this. I know they will take time, but they are always worth the try. And in fact, all the so many beauty products are there which they claim to have all these products in them. So when you naturally apply them, they are more beneficial to your health, to your skin. In fact, there are researches which have proven that these products, these natural remedies, they have least side effect. They are non-toxic, they rejuvenate the skin, they aid the quality of skin. But having said that, whatever product we use for either makeup or either treatment or for skincare, we should make sure that it suits our skin. It does not contain harmful chemicals, as he told, like parabens or formaldehydes or phthalates. So organic and herbal products are better if you even want to go for all the products. If you prefer products, using products, herbal and organic products are better, I think.
That said, guys, herbal products are good for the body. When I was a teenager, I was suffering from acne as well. Okay, as we discussed, time when I was in like 11th, 12th, I had so much acne that I was like getting frustrated. Like every morning, I used to have like 6 more acne on my face. So that there was a time that I visited a doctor and he gave me some antibiotics for reducing my acne. Is sure it reduced the acne, but I feel that it had some side effects on my body. So what's your take on like taking antibiotics for acne, Arpana?
Well, yeah, actually taking oral antibiotics, actually this is quite controversial and many researches are actually going on whether to take it or not for acne therapy. But there are few things that we definitely need to understand while you're using antibiotics. First thing is antibiotic therapies. They are used to suppress the growth and kill the bacteria causing acne. And like to be more specific, this Propionibacterium acne, which you call it, this is the microbe or bacteria which is major cause of it.
Yeah.
But interesting fact is this bacteria is present in our normal skin flora, and use of antibiotics does not cannot completely eradicate it. It suppresses the growth of this bacteria. So this again starts growing after you stop using the medicine or drug. So there are more chances that it will worsen your acne after using the drug. And second thing is like along with the bad bacteria, there are good bacteria in your skin. As Gunjita told, there are good bacteria in our gut flora. So this will get affected when you use antibiotic. And these antibiotic therapies, they will alter our gut flora and it leads to digestive disorder. In fact, there are evidences which says that even short course, like 7 days course of antibiotics can alter gut health for up to 2 years. And the third thing we need to know is like this antibiotic therapy leads to antibiotic resistance. There are more chances of regrowth of bacteria, that bacteria also drug resistant bacteria after using the drug. So more chances of reoccurrence is there, and for treating, you use more potent drugs to treat it. So it's like a never ending loop. Using antibiotic is like similar to cutting branches and leaves of trees, and it will eventually grow. So it might give temporary relief, but it cannot be a permanent solution. Use of oral antibiotics, I think.
For sure. Gunjita, do you have any take on this?
Yeah, even I agree with Alpana. Like, whenever you take any antibiotics, it definitely hampers your gut flora as well as your the health of your whole system. For example, if you take any antibiotic related to the acne, then there will be several side effects, which includes like bloating. Then some might have gastric problems. Some might feel nauseated. Many other diseases are there like GERD and all. So you have to make sure that whichever antibiotic you're taking, you should set up in your mind that these are going to have a temporary effect only, and along with that, they will have other side effects also. So in my case, I suggest that oral antibiotics for acne should be avoided. Rather than we should switch to our, more of a healthy lifestyle. You should check your hormonal, if there is any hormonal imbalance in your body or your sleeping pattern, you should check whether it is right or wrong. Then you should go for your dietary lifestyle changes and all this.
100%. So we discussed about antibiotics. It is bad for our health, guys. So don't take antibiotics. Teenagers who are listening us, please don't take any antibiotics. And if you want any herbal things to be put on your skin, contact any of our guests. You're free to contact any of our guests or contact any naturopath. So coming to our last question for this podcast, what's your take on like just two sentence what you can tell for our viewers? They can start now after listening the podcast.
Okay, see, and then I would like to say that, first of all, accept your skin the way it is. We should never get panic after getting an acne or, having any blemishes or wrinkles and all, rather than you should take it as a healthy reminder of our body, which needs to be taken care of. And most importantly, remember that, your body has the capacity to heal itself if provided with the proper conditions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Arpana.
Well, every one of us have this dream of getting, glowing, flawless, beautiful skin. But many of us end up getting skin problems. And as you said, as you also said, you had the skin problem. I think all of us had, any of the skin problem. And having skin problem can be very traumatic. It can lead to emotional stress, anxiety, hampers our self-confidence and self-esteem. So I feel that, we can use skin problem as a weapon. You can use to feel less confident, insecure, or try to hide it behind the mask of makeup. Or you can point to the direction, like use this weapon for developing healthy state of mind by managing stress, inculcate healthy food habits, bring better lifestyle changes, and the choices entirely depend upon us, I think.
Yes, for sure. One, two lines from me as well. Words of wisdom. So I have been facing like every any other teenager. I have been facing some skin problems from like past few years. But from the time I started listening to my body and understanding my body, why it's occurring in my body, I have reduced any problems. Like there are a lot of problems like indigestion, skin problems, any problems. Following naturopathy and path of yoga led me to a healthy and a beautiful lifestyle that I'm having today. So thank you so much, guys, for joining today. I hope you enjoyed this session of skincare. Thank you so much. If you're new here, follow and like this stream. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.